Welcome, welcome, welcome to the VV podcast. Jazz here, and I'm joined by astrobiologist Nexus Spacey and Master Ian Gamer. Today we finish the Fox Girl saga, discuss the amazing skins showcased a few days ago, and share our concerns for the Battle Pass. Alongside that, we will lament the official end of Overwatch 2. And without further ado, because I feel like this is going to be a long one, let's get right into it, lads. How are we feeling?
You mean Kiriko? The end of Overwatch 1?
I mean, Kiriko. I mean, which one do we want to start? Like the official, because we got the for people at home, we got the official end date of Overwatch 1 today, and that is going to be October the 2nd.
Damn, can't believe Overwatch will die before the Nintendo eShop on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Dead, gone, buried.
Episode 10. I honestly can't believe we've made it this far. Yeah. I guess we have a lot to go over.
Oh yeah, today it's literally stacked. Like we normally have like
got
a little,
all the news.
Yeah, we have a little for those at home. We have a little sheet that we just of topics, and let me tell you, it's a long one.
That's a long one, yeah.
It's a long one. So where do we want to start?
Let's start with probably the most hyped news. Let's start with Kiriko. Finally, Ian can rest his little brain, no longer frying it every day, as the Fox Girl is actually revealed for once.
Oh yeah, now he just has something else to blast his mind.
Yeah.
Now he has something
After
else to
all
torment
these
him.
years, the hero finally exists.
And Ian, what does the Fox Girl say?
I'm not going to answer that.
Aww.
Oh, finally, he can throw out his bulletin board. Now he can fill it up with Mauga conspiracies.
Yep.
Well, I
just got like a clipboard. I just flip over the paper. One beneath it is just Mauga. All right, on to the next.
On to the next one.
The next year of new content.
Back to the lab again.
Well, Ian, you did a video on this, so why don't you just review your thoughts?
I got a lot of thoughts.
Not a lot of sleep and a lot of thoughts.
Literally, Pepe Sylvia'd himself into the ground. God bless.
Oh.
So we're just starting with Kiriko then?
Yeah, we're starting with Kiriko.
I think she looks pretty cool, honestly. Overall, I'm like, yeah, she looks like a solid character. Although I do have the slight concern that her kit might be a bit bloated.
It's busted as shit. There's no way it's not just gonna replace BAP in every comp that he's playable in.
Yeah, so I kind of touched on
that is not
in my
specifically
video.
Brawl. I may mention.
You sure she's not gonna be good in Brawl?
Oh, actually, no. She will replace him in Brawl, which means that the only comp that can play BAP is like a scuffed bunker, which doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, so I think, granted, we haven't actually played Kiriko ourselves. We have very limited footage of her in action, just from the gameplay trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But based on what we've seen and on paper, everything she can do, I'm worried that new Overwatch heroes going forward are kind of just going to start overshadowing existing heroes.
Dude, the
like,
actual
we
DLC
already
experience.
started seeing that with Junker Queen. Like in the second beta, Junker Queen was just the best tank. She just tanked better than any other tank. And now I'm worried Kiriko is just going to support better than any other support. And like, I think I don't necessarily hate the idea of them making new heroes more generalized and more rounded and viable in more situations. Except that the issue that's going to bring about is just you either then have to bring the old heroes up to date to fit that new hero style that are more generalized, or the old heroes will just be obsolete in light of the new heroes. And that's my concern.
I definitely agree that like I look at Kiriko and I'm like, well, we waited this X amount of years for a support hero, and I feel like now like 2 or 3 other support heroes are out of a job because Kiriko has just kind of replaced them, and that is like obviously BAP. Zenyatta. And I'll be honest, like, remember when the million reworks that Moira has gone through?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
And
do
none of
notice a
which
lot,
stuck.
and none of which stuck. And I do notice a lot of similarities to those reworks to what's in Kiriko's kit. So in a way, she has also been replaced. So it's kind of weird, especially after not so long ago we had a huge discussion about like Symmetra and stuff like that, and how out of place she really does feel in the cast. And now looking at Kiriko, and if this is the way that they're going forward, you kind of look at the reworks or the balance tweaks that have already come with other heroes, and you're like, oh no, I guess they're gone. I guess that doesn't matter anymore.
Give
So
it to the support role to release a character to limit your choices more.
yeah,
It's crazy.
kind of wild.
I
But
look at this kit and I'm it's a very concerningly strong kit. She has a through map teleport. She can just teleport to someone.
Right.
Obviously has a long cooldown, but that's not the worst. She has described burst healing somewhat, which means she must have like high single target healing somewhere in her kit. Which, yeah, that's pretty good, especially if you can just teleport to a guy.
Right.
Another passive thing she just kind of has is she has higher critical damage. Now, we know from past experience that causes a lot of problems.
Right.
Now, this is a much different projectile. For one, it is a projectile. It's not hit scan. It's probably a slow firing, like one shot thingy.
Well, that's not what it looked like in the trailer.
By slow firing, I mean like a low fire rate.
Didn't look like that in the trailer.
Really?
Like Genji's shuriken,
I mean-
I think.
Yeah, it
more or
looked like
less.
Genji's shuriken.
I mean, again, lads, we have to consider this is the only footage we have so far of how this hero works is a trailer, and obviously those are very stylized. So we have to
Sure.
keep that in mind, because this is something that we have heard the devs say describe her play style. So we have to keep that in the back of our brain.
Like, I don't think she'll one-shot people left and right. Like, I mean, in the trailers, Brig one-shots people. And
Really?
that's not a good example of how she does damage. She doesn't do damage. She just prevents all damage from happening.
Well, I think the idea is that because Kiriko has no other damage sources, I think that's why they've sort of gone a little crazy, and I think that's why they will go a
Actually-
little crazy with it.
Quite literally, I just thought of a fourth hero that you kind of, I don't think replace, but she does challenge, and that is Mercy. Because think about what
Well,
Mercy
everyone
does.
does.
Kiriko can very easily just, like, quickly teleport to someone and then burst heal them up.
Yeah. 'Cause
She
think
has
about-
all of the most annoying parts of a lot of heroes.
Because think about like, describe Mercy in very bare basics terms. She's a single support hero that kind of either aids by enabling or preventing. So, i.e., she enables through damage boost, and then enables, kind of like prevents with her res, right? And it's very similar to Kiriko as well. So that's a very similar way you could describe Kiriko. So that's another. I don't think she'll ever replace Mercy. I think Mercy's just way too popular. People are ready to die for Mercy. So, yeah.
I feel like in top level play, this character will kind of like ride the line between Mercy and Bap, where she can kind of fill both of those jobs and be a more skill reliant
I could see her.
replacement of those two characters, but not fully.
I can totally see that happening, because we have to consider Mercy and Bap aren't exactly known to be high tier. They don't get much value in high competitive play.
Bap does. Bap gets loads of value.
Okay, we're not getting distracted because literally it's the episode's too stacked, so we're not going to argue too much. But I will say that, like, I don't think he's as popular. Let's just say that. I personally don't think I haven't seen him as much.
No,
But
not
anyway.
as of late, but there's only one viable comp at the moment in Overwatch 2.
The Junker Queen.
Yeah, Junker Queen Lucio Brig. That's the only thing that's viable.
Whatever enables Junker Queen. There you go. That's a strat.
Yeah. I also like how Aaron Keller, we talked about this last episode. Aaron Keller went on Twitter. He's like, yeah, we're nerfing the Junker Queen. And they still haven't nerfed her for the Overwatch League.
To our knowledge, anyway. Well, we don't know. We don't know if those nerfs are going to come when Overwatch 2 hits. So there is reasonable doubt, anyway, for now.
Yeah.
We still. I will say this. We're. How long are we? Like 3 weeks. I want to say.
Less
Are
than
we?
3 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
Overwatch
3
2.
weeks.
Just 3 weeks away.
Like 2.5.
Can you imagine, like, so many years and it's finally only 2 weeks away?
Yeah.
But I will say this: we were told ages ago that we were going to get significant changes to supports to make sure they're kept up, kind of, made a little more fun and exciting and spicy for Overwatch 2. And so far, we still haven't learned much. And
they've done nothing. They've not shown anything.
actually, all the changes they have introduced, they've actually reversed, except for Zen's kick. That's pretty much it.
Thank God they didn't revert that.
Yeah.
It's so funny, man. I love the Zen kick.
Riots in the street if they ever touch that kick.
If they remove snap kick, you know what's happening.
Yeah, if they remove Snap Kick, I'm going to request a refund of the golden balls I just bought for him, so...
You're gonna write a letter, personalized.
Yeah, it's an angry letter.
Dude, I'm gonna show them a snap kick.
Do you know that meme of like the teddy, like they put like stickers down on the table, and then the teddy like slams his face and he gets like the angry eyes? That's you, but your icon.
Exactly.
But actually, since we can't really talk about like how balanced she is, we can only give our first impressions. I am curious about you guys' opinions on her design, because so far it's actually been quite conflicted, especially in our chats anyway.
It's a bit divisive.
It is, weirdly enough, because I think, spoiler alert, I think it's pretty great, and I think maybe, I know I'm gonna like have people faint, and I will explain it, I promise. I think out of the 3 so far, I think she is the best.
I
know I've just shocked a nation who have just gone, wait, what about Junker Queen? Listen. Listen.
Yeah, I'd say Junker Queen's way better, but...
I suppose what I like about, like, Kiriko, it's more character design rather than my own personal preference. You know what I mean? There's a difference. I love Junker Queen because I really like how... Okay, I've made it very clear that I don't really like Sojourn's design all that much, and it comes down to how awkward her clothes are and kind of how overall bland her color scheme is.
Right.
But I really do love her kind of like face and hair, and those are really cool. Same with Junker Queen. Yet again, a very distinctive features and face. I love the fact that like she's kind of this punk gladiator vibe. Really love that. However, one thing is that like again, it veers on a little bit drab, and it does it. It's just kind of like her in a crop top. It's a muscular woman in a crop top. Don't get me wrong, I do love it. I do.
She has reasons to like this, yes, but...
I have my reasons. All of them homosexual, but...
Yes.
In terms of like actual character design, there's not a whole lot going for it. Versus Kiriko, I think, has a very good story. It's very fun. It's very bubbly. However, you still get that traditional kind of vibe, which perfectly describes her story so far that we've gotten. It's really bright and colorful. There's a very bad habit of like so far with Overwatch 2 designs where they pick one color and then they smother it in black and white. But I think this is done very elegantly, where her prominent color obviously is the most showcased, so therefore she stands out a lot. And And also, goddamn, that fox is cute. What can I say?
The fox is cool. I really like the fox. Yes.
Look, that's a little lad. That's a little boy. That's a friend. I love him.
So
Or her.
I
I don't know.
have something against Kiriko. I don't exactly know what, but I know that in the trailer, she is shown wearing 2 different outfits.
Yeah, I'm confused about that.
So the main outfit you can probably put on screen. Astro, it's just like white thing, and like it's just like white and red. That's like the only 2 colors.
It's
her
a
hair.
shrine maiden outfit. Yeah,
Just a shrine maiden outfit. But in one of the shots of the trailer, she wears a really cool jacket. I think that just improves it a lot.
Oh, yes. I think I know what you're talking about. Hold on, let me find a reference.
It's like a streetwear outfit. More casual.
It's a streetwear outfit, and it fits her, like, how she acts a lot more. I mean, if they had worked the streetwear into her base design a bit more, I think I would have liked it. But now she's just like Japanese shrine maiden with like a silly fox hat.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of my thought too. I mean,
I saw some guy on Twitter say like, "Whoa, it's Japanese Tracer."
I
And I was like, "Well, not quite."
I by no means dislike Kiriko's design. I think it's fine. I just think it doesn't stand out compared to a lot of the other heroes, right? And I don't know. It just I feel like she sort of falls into that same category that I would consider like Baptiste and Ash and like Sojourn to fall under, where it's like it's just sort of a person in a weird outfit. They don't really it's
In fairness, that is the vibe of Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Not to shade any. Obviously, all the.
Have you seen Triangle Man? They untriangled him.
That's true. They did Triangle Man. It's very sad about that.
But, I suppose we'll kind of come back. I suppose there's only a few things I can really criticize. I kind of don't like the bow in her hair. I think it's very childish. And while she's kind of like very youthful, I don't think it kind of like borderlines like a kid. I don't like that bow in her hair. And the second is, and there might be a hint to it in the past positives that I gave to Junker Queen and also Sojourn, is that she has that kind of female Overwatch same face problem.
Oh yeah.
Where she looks. She looks very similar to other female heroes, unfortunately, in terms of like how her face model. And
yes. Okay. Yeah.
And it's pretty unfortunate for this to happen right after having like Junker Queen and also Sojourn, who I think are very distinct while still being that very classically Overwatch style, So it kind of, it's like 2 step forward, 1 step back, if you get what I mean, in terms of, character design. But at the same time, it is a small part of her face, and I do like the rest of it. So
yeah,
it's not the worst.
It's also just a magic user character, which people are like, well, does that really fit into Overwatch? I mean, from what we can tell, Overwatch has established the land of Japan as the one place on Earth where they can use magic, apparently. Meanwhile, their neighbors are using mechas.
Yeah, that's actually fair enough. But I do know, I was talking to kind of a distant friend of the channel, Euclid Visions, about what he thought about, like, this was before Kiriko was named or dropped or anything. This was a very long time ago. But we knew about like the fox at this stage, and I was talking to him about like what he thought about like the dragons and the fox and stuff like that, and basically he kind of agreed with my prediction last time that like maybe it has something to do with hard light, so maybe like a different version or the originator or what have you. But it is very strange how in the many years that like Overwatch has been around, they have never once explained the dragons. So I
Right.
kind of feel like this is one of those things that's like, just roll with it, buddy. Just roll with it.
I feel like it won't be explained. It's just supposed to be kind of magic, maybe. It's implied magic, but it's never confirmed or denied.
It could just
Well,
be
think
like
the
the
dragons.
pool.
Yeah, the dragons, like, there's the whole theory about, like, oh, it's nanotechnology type stuff, some sort of weird hard light projection. But then when Kiriko comes about, the fox, as far as we can tell thus far, is literally just a spirit fox.
It's entirely spiritual. And
like,
that
yeah,
is-
it's not some hard light projection, it's not some hologram. It seems straight up. It's prominent enough where we just like have to believe it is literally a spirit animal.
Right.
Also,
That's
every single
weird.
Japanese character in the game has both a magic-related ability for their ultimate and can wall climb. All of them.
Oh yeah, I forgot she could wall climb.
She can wall climb. Just like Genji and Hanzo. She just doesn't have an additional jump unlike those two.
Do you know the Star Wars like they fly now? Oh, she climbs.
Yeah, she climbs now. It's an
Oh
odd one.
man.
Going back to the visual design real quick though, what are your guys' thoughts on the two legendary skins we had shown? The like robot one and the witch one for Halloween. Specifically
witch
in terms
one?
of, do you think those actually look like Kiriko?
The witch one doesn't look like Kiriko, but I feel like they're going with a different idea for the skins in this game. The skins themselves kind of
definitely.
feel like different characters.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they want to achieve, I feel.
So I completely agree with both Nexus and Ian in the like I watched your video, Ian, and I completely agree. I had no idea that witch skin was Kiriko. Not a hope. I had no idea. I thought it was like Mercy again, which kind of
I had complete whiplash seeing that witch skin, by the way. I was like, wait, which one is this? Is this Mercy? Is this Sombra? Is this could it be May even?
who is she?
Oh, it's Kiriko apparently.
But I slightly disagree with the cyberpunk one. I actually think I recognized her as Kiriko right away. I was like, oh yeah. And I think it's because of both the posing and also it's very, very close to her original outfit. It's just basically like different texture on the skin, different hairdo.
And she holds her weapons as well in that one, unlike in the witch emote.
That is actually something to say about like when it comes to like character design and stuff like that. You also have to consider how the character holds themselves to
Right.
see how different they are. So like for example, while Soldier 76 and
Yeah.
Baptiste have very
They're
similar
the same. All three of them are the same.
oh god! Oh no! While I think they look similar, they walk, they stand, they hold their weapons very differently. Another example would be Junker Queen and Zarya. While they're both beefy ladies, Zarya is very low hanging, and also she's very she's kind of thicker, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Versus like Junker Queen is very lean, and she always stands really upright, and she is like attacking from above, while
Zarya walks in like a lumbering way, where she wants to have her walk known. It's like, I'm in the room, good luck.
yeah.
Well,
So
Junker Queen moves the same way that Junkrat does, and I've actually confused her for Junkrat in game a few times.
Really? How?
Because she does the same, like, almost a similar hopping walk.
Okay.
I don't know why, but she, like, bobs the same way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really interesting. But we have to all consider this, that like again, this was like our only reference for all of these skins, everything like that is in a trailer, which is obviously stylized. It's going really past you really fast, and you know, especially for the witch one, that was like I think an intro or no, not what's
A highlight intro.
Thank you, the highlight intro. So I have no idea where she got the broom though.
Yeah, what's that
I
supposed
feel
to
like
be?
it's a highlight intro for the Halloween event that we're getting.
Oh,
It
but,
must
like,
be.
It has
But
to
like
be.
where where'd she get where's it coming from?
So, like, are you?
Halloween decoration.
But what I'm saying is, like, are you saying that she's always, no matter what skin in that highlight intro, just gonna have a random glowing witch broom?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
That's
So, like,
fucking weird.
some characters just like pull out pumpkins.
Yeah, but that's different.
Hold on, I'm gonna just boot up Overwatch. Hold on. Just, continue
Getting
talking.
fact-checked. While Nexus is getting that, I am very curious. So, there was an incident before Kiriko was announced.
Oh yeah, I still haven't seen the incident.
Oh no, don't. Now, granted, we're not going to talk details about the incident, out of respect for those behind the scenes who worked hard on a certain surprise that we're definitely not going to spoil. So we're not going to talk details or anything like that, but I am very curious if the hype kind of died or you weren't as excited when she was announced because of that unfortunate incident.
I kind of ignored the incident, let's just say that. I was still pretty excited about her being announced.
The problem for me, though, is I saw her coming from a fucking mile away. They've been...
I mean, we all did. We've known about her for 3 years!
But that's exactly why I wasn't particularly excited, even when it was leaked. I was just like, okay, yeah, I was sort of expecting this.
I guess excited isn't the right word. How do I say this? I was just, like, relieved. I was like, finally, she's out.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty
then
much
I
what
watched her
was
trailer, and I was
about.
like, yo, this shit looks hype.
Ian, you were saying something?
Yeah, it's just a matter of like, it was so expected and such a long time coming that like, I couldn't even say how the leak influenced my hype levels. I think overall it actually increased like most people's hype for the character, because I mean you see all this fan art coming out before the hero even legally exists. Like I think that's a pretty good sign that people are hyped for the character.
So, when the incident leaked, literally less than 30 minutes after that leak happened, there was already... I did not willingly find this. Rule 34 of Kiriko.
I would like to preface this by saying I did not willingly find this.
I did not willingly find that, but it has been brought to my attention.
Jump scared.
Yeah, I've stumbled across a couple of those already.
R34 jump scare.
I definitely... So I was like pretty late to the quote unquote incident.
I still haven't
because
seen anything from it, honestly.
Neither have I.
I distinctly remember you guys were chatting about it in the, like, you were chatting about like what had happened, and I completely missed it because I can't remember. I think I was like that was like the week I was like really, really busy, and a few days later I just opened up Twitter and I saw like a random clip and I was like, with like a weird like comment like saying like, oh, Overwatch has been revived, and it had like a huge X on it, and I was like, what on earth is happening? What is this? And I genuinely thought it was like fan made. So I was like, oh wow, how incredible! Our fans of Overwatch amazing, and oh my god! And
Wait, you
I'm not
saw
really
it?
sure. I saw a clip of it. I saw one
okay.
clip. I saw one clip.
I haven't yet. But
it had like a faint X on it, so I didn't really catch it at first. Especially there was a lot of blue. There was like a lot of like red and blue happening in the particular clip. Again, I'm dancing around the issue. I don't want to give away too much. And I genuinely thought it was fan made. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. And I was about to like, hey guys, this is so good. And you were like, Jasmine, so something happened. And the immediate guilt. I saw like maybe 12 seconds of it, and the immediate guilt. Oh man, I feel so terrible, you know?
it must be
that happened.
just around the corner now, like in terms of releasing.
I am
Surely they're gonna do the same thing as Overwatch 1 did. Release like 1, maybe 2 cinematics before launch.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're actually going to get multiple cinematics, because I remember that's what they did with Overwatch 1.
I don't think they'll do more than 2.
I don't think it'll
And
be more
even
than
2 is stretching it,
I don't think
right?
it'll be more than
I mean,
2.
we already got the Junker Queen one. We know there's a Sojourn one coming.
I
and now we
forgot.
know about this one. So, I'm willing
actually,
to bet we see 2 like in the weeks leading up.
oh god, that is entirely possible. Yeah.
So I am I am gonna like pose the genuine question. So there was a great big leak, but curious enough, this incident didn't come to pass when the Japan Expo happened. So do you guys think that maybe they're postponing it? Maybe they're saving it for another date? Are they saving it for closer to release? Or
I
what
think
do
they
you
were
guys think?
always saving it for closer to release.
Yeah.
It's like how soon it happened before the Tokyo Game Show thing. Like, I don't think they like cut it because it had been leaked. I think they probably
Yeah.
always intended for it to be whenever it ends up being.
From what I've heard, it was also unfinished partially. Whatever.
Oh
leaked.
yeah. Oh yeah. Very unfinished.
Oh,
Really? What was
Gotcha,
unfinished
gotcha.
about it?
no details.
Just give me vague examples.
I won't say anything specific other than half of it wasn't properly rendered all the way.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Got it.
So yeah, I don't think they were sending it out to the Tokyo Game Show anyways. I feel like this is one of the things that they're releasing a week before release
Gotcha.
because like people object permanence just is not a thing, you know? People I seconds ago said I forgot when Jazz talked about the Junker Queen cinematic. Because I forgot that one existed for a second.
There you go. You can watch it again.
I can watch it again, all over again. Just like
With
I can
fresh
see
eyes.
Hammond for the first time again.
I suppose my thought process was, well, if we have three of them on the way. Like one has been released, 2 are kind of like on the way. I suppose I would have thought that the Sojourn one would have come sooner to release, and then maybe this particular, again, I'm dancing around the issue. Maybe this particular thingy-majiggy would be released like around now, but I don't know. I
see,
suppose
Jazz,
like,
That's the problem. I don't think it'll be a Sojourn cinematic.
oh,
I have a feeling that it'll be related to the Overwatch organization itself. I feel like we'll be having a story sequence, probably involving our good friend Monkey.
Monkey.
You're thinking like Overwatch 2's version of the Recall animated short.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see that.
We might just see straight up a follow-up to 0 Hour.
or a further plot twist. It's announcing Overwatch 3.
Oh god.
Speaking of announcements, so alongside obviously the announcement of Kiriko, we also got an onslaught of really cool skins.
God, these skins slap.
Oh my god, every single one is pretty much a banger, and I'm so excited.
There's like it's an odd one, right? Because previously with some of the events, you're like, okay, this one's not that great. This one's not. Like you get like 1, maybe 2 skins in an event that are bangers, right?
Right.
The rest are just like, they're good, but not bangers, you know?
Right.
With this one, the mid skins are the exception.
Yeah, pretty much. They are. Oh my god, they're starting out strong anyway.
They're throwing some of the biggest hits at us, and we don't know yet, but this might just be a taste of how good the skins are going to be.
I just really like that Roadhog one. That Roadhog one is killer.
That hog one looks pretty cool. I think in that same image, you can probably. It also shows the Kiriko one. The Zen one we don't really get a good look at because there's just lens flares all over him.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zenyatta does get a bit like, in Monsters Inc.
he gets Mike Wazowski.
Exactly, like the sticker, but with him with like darkness,
Fucking Mike Wazowski. Sojourn looks absolutely fly. Not super interesting or anything. It just looks.
Oh, I love
Just
the
looks fly.
Sojourn one.
Widow looks like an actual Fortnite character in this one.
I genuinely, and it was I can't remember because genuinely, so much information was thrown at us at like a mile a minute, and all of them have like specific names and stuff like that, which was really.
Oh yeah, I don't remember many names of the things they threw at us, but I know. I can look at Monkey Brain says, "Wow, that looks cool," and then I look away.
Yeah, I don't think they gave us the name of the skins or anything, right?
No, they just said it's in the cyberpunk themed pack.
So what I was about to ask this, was it confirmed that each battle pass has like a different theme, or
Yes.
am I making things up?
Or at least they're going to release a new themed section of skins every season, which coincides to the battle pass.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they don't have the battle pass doesn't need to have the same theme as the shop skins, but they will have a new theme every season.
Yeah.
So to clarify, we have the usual events, which is Halloween, Christmas.
Well, we only know about Halloween so far. We don't know if Christmas is returning. Santa Claus might not come to town this time around.
Oh my god.
They killed Santa.
This
Saint Nick not looking so good.
Christmas is dead. Long live
frozen.
Hanukkah.
Dude, the Hanukkah event. I think it's still really funny how people make such a, at least in English-speaking countries, they like make a big deal of Hanukkah. From what I can tell, from the people that actually celebrate it, all I can tell is that they're like, yeah, this is a pretty insignificant one. I have no idea why people make such a big deal out of it.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah. It might be the wrong crowd.
It is the wrong crowd. I just I've heard about that. They're like, wow, but why do they keep mentioning that one? That's like not even the biggest one.
Again, you're talking to an Irish Catholic here, so truly, really out of my depth here. I'm so sorry.
I'm just some Dutch guy, man.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't even celebrate Cheese Fest.
I mean, yeah, Italian Catholic. I would have no idea.
Wait, you don't celebrate the birth of cheese? My God.
No. We do, however, celebrate racist Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Let's just go past that.
Let's not talk about the Dutch racist Christmas.
Yeah. We're actually changing that pretty significantly.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
In a hopefully positive way.
But
Yeah. Speaking of racism, though, am I the only one who thinks
the single worst segue possible?
Well, it might actually be relevant. Am I the only one that thinks this Kiriko cyberpunk skin just looks like it's straight out of Apex?
No, it isn't. I looked at that and I was like, wait, did they accidentally cross over an Apex character? And then I looked a little hard. I was like, oh, that's Kiriko!
Speaking of racism,
Apex Legends.
In fairness, lads, we better humble ourselves. We look at the Overwatch community now.
True.
No.
I feel like Overwatch community is one of the lesser racist ones I've seen.
Oh, that's kind of depressing.
He's actually right.
Oh, no.
All things considered,
believe me, I'm right, and that's the
concerning part.
That's the concerning part. I mean, I can tell you, you can make like a Yako song of all of the like more racist communities in gaming.
But anyway,
like Valorant, League of Legends.
Back to the topic. For me, the Kiriko skin kind of looks like it's very iconically Blade Runner, but like the face reminds me of this book cover called Robocalypse or something like that. I can't remember, but it has a very distinct cover. I'll send it to Astro. Hold on, I actually might be able to find it here. Hold on, give me.
She might just have it in her room.
Genuine, given my library, you might be right.
Oh, I just looked it up. I think I see what you mean.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah,
we also occasionally find some bits and pieces of other skins that they've like shown us. Like we have a Robin Hood themed Ash skin that looks actually really cool.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's the one they showed off.
They showed it off twice, like
ago.
almost nonchalantly. They're just like, yeah, that's the skin. I don't think we've seen the Ash wait, well, no, we have. We have seen the Ash redesign, but we saw the Robin Hood one before the redesign.
Right.
I'm trying to remember when we first saw that Robin Hood one.
Well, before the redesigns were all released, so like before Overwatch 2 beta.
Yeah, I think it must
God.
have been that same trailer that first showed off the Junker Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that was the one where they announced the Battle Pass.
Yes, I believe so.
That kinda
Part
looks
of the
like the Battle
June
Pass.
16th event.
Yeah, I think it's
And that pre-thing.
I think it was around the time the beta and alpha was going around that we
Now-
first saw that skin. They've also shown some other skins, but I find it odd. In every single clip that they show Ashe now, outside of the Sojourn release thing, we've seen her in that skin exactly. And I find that really strange. The devs must like that skin so much, they're like, no, the real look of Ashe does not exist. Here's the skin version. The guy recording these must just absolutely love that one. Oh my god, Robopocalypse. Yeah, that does look like that skin.
Right? I'm telling
Yeah, has the same kind of like feel to it.
Yeah,
It's
it's like the artificial like human body type thing. I don't even know how you would describe it really. It's just like a metal person,
kinda
plastic
like-
person.
It's like this weird porcelain skin that like has like deep crevices and stuff like. It's really cool, you know.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, I disagree, but
In fairness, to each to their own. I do know you're very partial to the what was it, the Dragon Mercy skin, and
oh yeah. I mean, I think I like Mercy's dragon skin.
The green
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
now he's allowed to have his opinions.
I think that
It's
one's
not
just
I
really.
wouldn't say it's a great skin. It's one of her better ones, but
Speaking of oh god, I'm one of many, and of course she has another one coming on the way. Don't you worry, Mercy Mains.
Well, don't you worry. There's your 19th million fucking now you have a more billion Mercy skins.
Yeah, actually, speaking of opinions, and
Speaking of
I think-
opinions,
Speaking of opinions, I think this is going to be an easy one. Hands down, that stole the show is that Genji skin.
Oh yeah,
Mythic one.
Promethean Genji.
I don't like the face. Like the unsheathed face.
But that's exactly what I like. It's literally a fucking Promethean from Halo. It's the best Halo content we've gotten in years.
Transcends games.
However, we can okay, in this trailer it does actually show a bit more of what it means to be a mythic skin.
Right.
We see them interchanging parts, changing colors. We see them having different visual effects. I mean, we have a screenshot here in our chat of the visual effect for Dragon Blade being entirely different.
Yep.
And I mean, that's just pretty cool, man.
I will say this as someone who, the last time I was on, I think it was the podcast where we were talking. The news had just dropped about the Battle Pass,
Mm-hmm.
and I was deeply confused about the Mythic skin, and also kind of questioning it, why it existed, and also like if it was going to be that impressive. My expectations are quite high now for the future. My socks were blown off of my feet. I was amazed by that showcase.
Man,
And-
we might finally have Lucio with blue visual effects.
Like,
That's all I need.
like, as someone, I know when the whole survey dropped about how much you would pay for a mythic skin. I know I was pretty mad about the 40 was it $45 or 40?
Yeah, 45. I mean,
$45.
now I'm at least willing to spend 15.
Do you know what? I was kind of looking at it being like, okay, I can see where the thought process went, that like maybe this is that much. Like I know that it was probably like an unpaid intern who wrote up that survey, don't get me wrong. But I can see where they plucked out that number, you know?
And I mean,
Where it's like
well,
maybe.
and I mean, my
I
thing.
just hope it's not too expensive. I mean, aren't there rewards for completing the battle pass?
it's in
We'll
the
get to
battle
it.
pass.
They're in the battle pass, so
Yeah. And
It's,
there
I
was an
think it's
interview with
specifically
Aaron
the
Teller.
paid battle pass, but they're in the battle pass.
Yeah,
they're
so
getting them from.
it's technically $10 if
Yeah,
you pay for it and finish the battle pass, or at least get as far as wherever it is.
or if you're a YouTuber like Muzo, it's $10 plus the money required to finish the battle pass on 1 second of it being released.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can pay for battle pass levels, and we know that makes companies a shitload of money.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't you worry. first,
Yeah, I
first
will say.
first
just,
positives anyway.
Regarding the Genji skin, like I've had a number of complaints about different stuff, especially the cosmetics. Not the look of the cosmetics, but the likely price of the cosmetics going forward.
Ooh.
But the one thing I will say is this Genji skin is like phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
I think this Genji Mythic skin is like the one thing that like no complaints. Like Blizzard, phenomenal job with this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it is clearly the best look. Well, like it's the skin that has the highest quality yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this
Yeah,
is the
there's
skin.
no-
It's like it's clear that this is like. Oh, you look at this and you're like, wow, this one is probably more expensive than all of the ones in Overwatch 1.
Right.
There is no doubt about it. There's no confusing this with a legendary. Absolutely no way this is confusing it with a legendary. It is phenomenal, and I think, bravo to the artists over at Blizzard, or whoever designed, all the people that designed this and modeled it. Phenomenal job. My God, no notes.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the other thing that we should note is that a mythic skin is technically like multiple skins because you can customize it.
Yeah, you can customize like the weapon sounds. You can customize the effects. You can customize the weapon you're using. So, like let's say you're using the revolver for Cass, right? You choose between like 2 or 3 different revolver shapes,
Right.
colors, and maybe even like effects that they use to fire and reload.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you get that much choice for every single mythic skin. That's a lot of things you're getting
It's
for
not
one
bad,
skin.
no.
That's kind of crazy.
It's not bad.
I will say we have to see the actual in-game mythic skin because they've showed us a lot of fancy shots and like the different concept images of the different like styles of it, but I do want to still see what it actually looks like in game. On top of that, I guess that's the one extra thing
There is a difference between Blizzard B-roll and a crusty 1080p monitor running the game at low settings.
Yeah. Potato quality,
Mhm.
Running the game at the comp settings.
Before we move topics, I will ask this one question because, again, I'm kind of like, is this a highlight intro? Is this Blizzard being fancy? I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so coming back to the highlight intro, there's another character highlight intro that reminds me of the Kiriko one, right?
All right, Jazz, did you actually get to ask your question yet?
No. Sorry to cut you off, Jazz, but
You're okay.
you were like, well, oh, she's just gonna have the broom every time. Yes, just like the Grill Master highlight intro for Soldier.
Huh.
Where he just has the Grill Master thing going on.
Oh, okay.
Because he's always prepared. He's an American. He's a father. He's gay. Of course he has sausages on hand.
He is the kind of person to roll up to the disabled parking lot, and it looks like just the grill place. Where's the fucking image of that? Or was that a different image?
All right, but Jazz, as you were saying.
Oh yeah. So I have a question because genuinely I'm very confused about it. Do you know when the like Genji's skin, when it opens, and there's this shot where it's kind of like the skull face, and then there's a ghost skull coming out of his skull face? Is that a highlight intro, or is that just Blizzard being fancy?
That's probably Blizzard being fancy.
So I think one of
because
two
there's
things,
also
actually.
a little like text thing that says like a mask or whatever that's like pointing at it. Which, like, why would that be, like, in the game? It looks more of, like, a reference type thing for, like, explaining the
mask is.
Model. Yeah.
So I have a feeling it's one of two things. It is
Yeah,
they either have that in like every highlight intro where he opens up his mask, because that's a custom animation, right?
Right.
Like, when does that even take place?
Right.
Think about it. When does the mask open up in normal animation? Never.
When he ults.
No, in like in like the regular Genji skin.
Oh yeah, no, never.
Never. There wouldn't be bones in the animation. Like nothing is rigged to do that kind of animation. So like they probably have different animation cues for this particular skin in the highlight intros, in the regular animations, and so on.
Right.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there as maybe a possible explanation. I can't remember the name of the skin, but it was a Sombra skin where she has this mask on and it changes.
Yeah, it's one of the.
But that's just part of the
Chinese New
skin.
Year skins.
That is a single texture flip every so often. That's something the skin does 24/7.
No, but that's what I'm wondering is that maybe the same kind of concept, except obviously elevated because they could.
It's a lot bigger than that, yeah, because the Sombra skin is 3 textures being flipped. One on her gun, one on her face, and another one on her face, but just a different part of the face.
But I was more saying that, like, well, if that's the baseline for a legendary, and listen, I love that Sombra skin. If that's a baseline for a legendary, then this might be, showcasing why a mythic skin is like several levels up. You know what I mean?
Or they're gonna make you feel real cool. They might just come with separate highlight intros just for that skin. But like, what happens when you equip them to other skins?
Who knows? I suppose.
He might just scream with a face coming out of him. And
Again, this is why I
Genji
wanna see
screaming
it
at air is never not funny.
Well, what's he gonna do with like his more humanoid skins?
What's he gonna do with the most recent skin? The what is it called? Hold on. It's called Happy. Where he's just a normal guy wearing like Sentai fan outfit.
What?
Have you seen the most recent skin? He wears like flip flops. He's like
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Very casual looking skin, but it is just like normal ass Genji. Pre-dying Genji.
You're pre-dying Genji.
It's like BC,
Yeah, he got res right.
I will say this. I had no thoughts about the happy skin until Ian pointed out the fish.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is that really what makes you like that skin?
There is a fish.
Legitimately, all I could think of was, oh, whatever, it's a nothing skin. And then I saw that fish and I went, comedic genius. My God, elevated. Do you know Finding Nemo? This is very obscure, but again, I'm full of obscure references today. Do you know
Okay.
in Finding Nemo? And do you know that like devil child? I think her name is Darla.
I know the devil
shakes
child you
bag.
mean, where it just shakes Nemo.
Exactly, and that's all I'm thinking.
Genji
of.
is the devil child. If he double jumps, that entire scene plays.
Exactly. All right. I think like no questions asked. Those skins are phenomenal.
Yes.
But there's a big, huge but.
How easy are they to obtain?
This is now moving on to our concerns about the battle pass,
Exactly.
And there are many.
which there are many.
That kind of looks like the battle pass.
So
It's not looking good.
Yeah, it's okay. So in a strange turn of events, I seem to be kind of the most optimistic, and that's only on a technicality because we don't have much in ways of information, like contextual. This is what the prices are. This is how much experience points you get. Stuff like that. It's still very much up in the air. It's still very much like a question. So for big, huge example, a lot of people, such as Ian, did the math on the coin challenges, the weekly challenges. I think is that the name?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think when you add up the coins that they show on the graphic, it only comes to around like 60 coins per week.
Yeah, 60 coins per
and
week.
then they showcased the price point if you actually like with your real money bought coins, how much you would. I think is like 500 is the lowest.
500 for $5, and then after like $20, it starts getting slightly cheaper, but only slightly, like 10% off, kind of thing.
It's kind of the same prices as the loot boxes, correct?
No. One loot box is $1, and you can get one loot box for $1. I think it's the similar pricing to the Overwatch League points, but those have one massive bundle deal that gets you like 50% off or more, basically.
Gotcha. I just wanted to confirm that. So, and naturally, when you hear you only get like 60 coins a week, it causes a bit of scare.
That's
and
probably not 60 points per week, right?
Well,
we can only
Probably
hope.
miss some.
Well, I'm just going to finish my point. So, there's two ways of going about it. One, we don't know for certain if those are A, the finished coins, and B, if you don't get like a certain amount of coins for finishing them. Like, we don't know if it's a cumulative or... So, for example, if you do... There's a challenge that says you got to do it 4 times, and there's a 30 coin next to it. So we don't know if you get 30 times every time you complete it, or if it's like the overall price. So we don't know for that for sure. And also, we don't really know the prices of the skins. So I'm not quite sure how to feel about like how this is going about, because I don't know how do I explain this? I don't know how the prices are for the skins, so I don't really know if this is fair or not,
Well, seeing how the lowest option for buying Overwatch coins is $5, and the second option is $10, I feel like $5 for something is the lowest possible, like, monetary value that they are willing to, like, conveniently give to you.
Yeah, and keep in mind that's relative to, loot boxes where $1 would get you 4 cosmetics.
I feel like loot boxes in Overwatch 1 cannot be compared. They are not $1.
Thought you said they were.
I mean,
they are one. They cost $1. They aren't $1. Okay,
Yeah.
just.
I mean, I do want to play devil's advocate here that we don't know for certain how much $5 is going to actually get you in terms of like cosmetics. We still don't know, because then we also have like those keychains. We have like brand new like those emotes with the items as well.
We also have a few things that we have exactly zero knowledge of, which are souvenirs.
I kind of assumed that was the items for those special emotes.
Yeah.
But
I think
again,
there was actually an interview where Aaron Keller specified what they were, which was, just like the time you saw the clip of like Wrecking Ball or Junkrat just holding up a thing in their hand that floats. Those are the souvenirs.
Oh. Yeah, they've kind of just looked like emotes though, like bad emotes.
Yeah. But I think you get those emotes, and then there's different souvenirs that you can attach to that emote. I think is my understanding. So
I think they actually said every hero just has a singular hold up the thing emote.
Yeah, no, they have like one hold. Like they all do the same emote every time, but you can just replace the items in the emote.
Like a weapon inspect. It's just like a thing they do, and then you can replace what the thing they're actually holding up is, which are the souvenirs.
Gotcha. So it's very difficult for me to figure out how fair this new system is, because very key information has been kind of left out, and I'm not sure if it's just because they haven't settled it on it, or if they're purposely hiding it because it might be shitty.
Yeah,
and I really don't know how to feel about it.
Here's a couple things.
Uh-oh.
To sort of build off of that. The game releases in less than 3 weeks. I guarantee you they know everything in terms of prices and whatnot.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And anything they're not telling us for a specific reason at this point.
Probably because it would look bad.
Yes. And it was interesting because I don't know if you guys watched all the videos I put out regarding this this recent like info dump. But like in the first couple videos talking about Kiriko and like the Battle Pass blog post, like I felt like I was pretty optimistic reading through those, and I was like, oh yeah, like cool, finally getting more info, finally seeing the Fox Girl hero, all this stuff. But then in the back of my mind during all that, I was like, all right, this all sounds cool, but where's the catch? Like,
Right.
like there has to be a catch here somewhere, right? You know, everyone's complaining about the heroes being in the battle pass, and like, yeah, I get that, but like, part of me was like, there has to be something else here, right? Like, what are we missing? And then it was only like afterwards, like the next day, that I really sort of realized what I ended up talking about in my concerns video, which is the rate at which you get Overwatch coins for free, and I was like, that's the catch. That's the thing they snuck out under the veil of everyone getting upset about heroes being in the battle pass. They snuck out the reality and the acknowledgement that, like, oh yeah, these Overwatch coins, basically impossible to get for free. I think we're looking at a very unfortunate situation in terms of the feasibility of earning cosmetics without just straight up opening our wallets. Like, I'm not convinced there's going to be any other way of getting coins outside of what's been shown in this weekly challenge system. Because if there was, they would have indicated it. Because that would have looked better for them on a marketing front. Because it would have looked more generous. The fact they haven't shown it to us suggests it doesn't exist.
May I ask a question? Now, I don't follow, to be honest, all the Overwatch League skins don't really appeal to me.
Right.
So this is outside my expertise, but I think it's the closest thing that we have to a comparison. And I know it's not perfect, but it is the closest thing that we have so far, because again, they have not indicated one way or another. Does anyone remember how many Overwatch League coins, what points? I don't know.
They cost 200 Overwatch League points. The good ones, the bad ones cost 100.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the legendary skin Overwatch League skins are 200 tokens, which is the equivalent of $10.
Yes, and you can get them by like watching, who knows, like 60 hours of fucking people throwing their mind, like people almost throwing because their company didn't spend enough money.
Yeah, and that's why I made the comparison for the like Widowmaker Cyberpunk skin bundle they showed off in the Season 1 promo image.
Yes.
Based on the way they present it, that little bundle includes a Widowmaker legendary skin, a spray, and a weapon charm. Which is already more than what you would get for spending $10 on a legendary Overwatch League skin. Which is what makes me think a bundle like that could very easily cost $10.
I feel like a bundle like that costs a bit more than that, if I was being honest.
It could. I don't want to get I don't want to get that pessimistic at this point.
I feel like that at least costs 15 because they're like, well, there's more than just the skin, guys.
Well, I merely asked because I want, if an Overwatch League skin, again, it's the only comparison we have so far as of recording right here, right now. So we can only speak with the information that we have. I am curious as to how long, if like a legendary league skin is 200 coins or whatever, and if we apply that same logic to the skins that we're about to have on this pass, it might not be as bad as we fear. Because if you get like 60 coins, like pretty much by playing the game, the challenges look pretty easy, and pretty much like you're going to be doing it if you open your game anyway, or at least most people will anyway. So if you earn that 60 coins, then you could rack that up pretty quickly in like a couple of weeks.
That's the problem.
No. Because an Overwatch coin is not equivalent to an Overwatch League token.
No. I understand that, but what I'm saying is that like if this is the closest comparison that we have so far, so if we assume that so Overwatch League skin is 200 points, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
200 tokens.
The lowest amount you can spend on the game to get Overwatch League coins is 500 for $5. So I feel like that's the lowest they'll have us.
But
I feel like that's the lowest they can sell skins for.
But that's the point that I'm making. That like if this is the only equivalent that we have so far, is it safe to say that maybe the prices are similar, but just with different coins? Which is kind of silly, but whatever.
I think. Well, what do you mean price? Price in terms of tokens or like US dollars?
US dollars.
Yeah.
I mean both. Like both. Pretty much like if Nexus is correct, you get 500 points.
$5 for Overwatch League coins is equal to 100 Overwatch League tokens, while 500 Overwatch coins are $5.
This is what I mean. That like the terms that they throw at us is just so confusing.
This is why they make money. It's confusing. They're like, well, here's the thing. It's not exactly 1-to-1, but smiley face.
This is just anyway.
Just don't get confused, forehead.
Anyway, this is what I'm saying, that like if this is the closest comparison, then it might not be as bad as we fear. But on the one hand, for those who do not want to pay money, are pretty much going to say, well, I can only afford 1 or 2 skins.
Right.
I feel like they can't really afford more than 1 skin per season if that were the case. If
Less
it were
than that, it's 1 skin every 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It takes 17
However,
weeks
that's
doing every weekly challenge to hit
that's
a 10
expecting
USD
that you don't get
value.
coin from. That's expecting you don't get coins from the battle pass.
You don't.
Yeah, you don't. They explicitly say that.
They explicitly stated you do not. They're only weekly challenges and purchasing it in the shop. Those are the only 2 ways to get coins.
And I would also.
There were no other possible challenges. You can only do
There are no other
weekly
possible challenges because they specified weekly challenges in like 4 different places throughout the article.
That's a really dumb one. Like, I don't like weeklies. Dailies are much funnier.
And may I note that this means that it's also impossible to earn back the currency to get the next season's battle pass.
Which has been a staple in like most battle pass related games. Like, what's an example for that? I think Fortnite does this. Game I play, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel does this, where you spend like 700 arbitrary numbers on the battle pass, and if you finish the battle pass, you get your 700 back.
Yeah. And like that's standard shit.
That's standard practice nowadays. So I'm questioning why they didn't go for that. Probably to milk more money. Wait, doesn't Warzone even do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Why
Literally
does this
every other
one?
major battle pass does that? I don't know. It's bizarre. Like,
I hope they change that in season 2.
It like this is like the one aspect where I'm almost like, did they forget to specify something that's like actually good? Like, did they forget to like better sell themselves by like presenting some information that would be more advantageous? Like,
We also gotta know that they have to sell themselves to do 2 entirely different and opposing groups. They have to sell themselves to like the corpos and the players. It's like, okay, well, how much money can we make versus how much things are like free, quote unquote? Because a company that makes a lot of money is really good for like the stock investors, right? They're like, oh, the stocks will fucking go through the roof. But
okay,
the other,
so
yeah.
I posted a few like I think there was a minor confusion between like coins and tokens. So that's what they are, league tokens.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you pay $5, $5 US, you will get 500 coins.
Yes.
In Overwatch 2. For Overwatch League skins and Overwatch League tokens, you pay $5 for only 100 tokens.
Yes, but spending any less than $100 on Overwatch League tokens would be almost foolish. But at that point, you're spending 100 on Overwatch League tokens. It's like, who's really making the good decisions now?
Let me just finish. So
Yep.
therefore, to get one Overwatch League skin, which is 200 tokens, you must pay, and this is for a legendary skin now, you must pay roughly $10
Yes.
for that legendary skin.
Yep.
Therefore, the equivalent must be that either you get like, and depending on like, obviously, Overwatch League tokens are kind of in their own realm.
Yeah, and you also get them from watching Overwatch League matches.
Exactly. So therefore, it's probably going to be a little more expensive. So this is what I mean, that like, and it's also not the primary, it wasn't not, well, I should say past tense. It wasn't the primary way of getting skins.
Right.
It was always loot boxes. So now they're changing it to this monetary system. I am posing the question of maybe the equivalent for mainline Overwatch 2, what it's going to be like if you click on the shop, is might be 500 or 1,000. It does depend. And again, if it's 500 coins, that could be doable. Maybe. Big maybe.
I mean, but you're saying that we could get. You're saying that one skin would be 500 coins, right? Is like just a general skin?
No, as in a legendary
legendary skin.
Yeah, as a general legendary skin. Well, what that means is that you can literally get one skin per season then, because you can get 540. Yeah, you can get 540, coins per season.
Over a 2-month time frame, you get one skin.
That's
well,
kind
a
of what
season
I was...
is 9 months, isn't it?
Nope, a season is 2 months.
Oh, I'm sorry, 9 weeks. Sorry, yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to bet legendary skin. Well, we're probably only going to see like bundles, like that Widowmaker bundle they showed, because nobody's going to purchase sprays or weapon charms individually.
Absolutely
but,
not.
That bundle, I think, easily could fit within the 500 to 1,000 like price range for just what we're seeing there: the skin, the spray, and the weapon charm. Like,
but that
at most generous, it'll be 500. But I think it's more than likely going to be much closer to 1,000. They could even do like a 900 type thing, so it's like just under 1,000. So like there's a little left over.
So if you want to get it immediately, you spend $10, even though it's only $9.
Exactly. Yep.
And then you have that inconvenient 100 that you can spend.
Does.
Whoa. Guys, be careful when you're talking. My poor ear. my poor ear. Just there was a cacophony of voices.
It's a hot topic. I mean, but exactly, Jazz, the way you presented this, the way that like you had to like walk through the process to find the true value of these, like that's exactly what I'm talking about with I don't think people are like realizing the situation we're about to have. It's easy to see a hero in a battle pass and get caught up on how unfortunate that is. But people don't realize how expensive individual skins are almost certainly going to end up being. Like how much money the average person will have to spend with real money in order to get these cosmetics, when in Overwatch 1, you could just grind loot boxes for 3 weeks and probably get all the skins.
Yeah.
Now, there is the important caveat that, Overwatch, I said this before as well, Overwatch, loot boxes are like stains on the earth. I think we can all agree. Yeah. But we do also agree that Overwatch kind of had the best, maybe not the best, but like a better system.
Overwatch loot boxes were so... I feel like... Okay, well, I mean, of course, if they hadn't sold them for money, they wouldn't have made money, right? But I'm gonna be real. I see no reason to buy Overwatch loot boxes. And
neither did I. I never did.
There just wasn't a reason. You could grind out very easily the amount you needed to get all the skins. And if you didn't, it doesn't matter. Even if you have all the skins in the standard loot pool, which you get after playing like 200 levels worth of gameplay, which you get pretty easily if you're just playing the game regularly.
Yeah.
You have like the entire normal loot pool. Then after that, the
Genuinely-
only skins you can get are the event skins. And currency.
Genuinely, the if you kept on top of Overwatch with the loot box system, you could pretty comfortably get most of the skins that you'd like.
I have every item in Overwatch except like 2 or 3 of them that cost money. Like directly.
Yeah, like
So again, I want to be optimistic that, like, again, we don't have key information. So I'm kind of torn where there's the optimistic side of me has seen how they implemented stuff like this and how generally it actually is very fair, especially when you're comparing it to competition. Which, I mean, it's not hard, but you can see there's active trying. Versus my kind of pessimistic, this is a company, they want money, this is going free to play, so they have to get money somehow. And I'm kind of torn between those two things. And the fact that we don't have key information like this is concerning me, because I don't know where to exactly to fall or how to express my opinions or express my concerns, because I'm not, like, I don't know how valid they are, because on the one hand they have a great track record, on the other hand business want money.
well, and you know I do this a lot, but I will do it again. We can learn a lot about the situation that's going on here from Halo Infinite, and that is because Halo Infinite was very, very hush-hush about the system until the day it came out. And everyone was really like, "Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be, I'm sure it'll be great. I have no doubts that everything will just be a-okay." And then, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, there might be some things that aren't great, but I'm sure it'll be okay." And then the thing dropped, and everyone's just like, "This is a catastrophe." and that's exactly what I'm worried about happening here, is because. And I mean, keep in mind, up until Halo Infinite, 343 Industries had a pretty good track record. And so the fact that Blizzard in Overwatch 1 had a good track record and is now being hush-hush, it's giving me the same bad vibes as Halo Infinite. And it basically is saying to me, this is going to drop and this game is going to implode. And
I wouldn't go that far to say it's going to implode, but certainly my way of looking at things like this is you have to think from a marketing standpoint. If it is beneficial for them to tell us something, if providing the community with information will benefit the game and benefit people's perception of the game, they will tell it to us.
Right.
Which means if they don't tell us something, there's a incredibly strong chance that it's something that will not benefit the game.
Right.
It's probably bad, and they know it's bad.
It's the price of individual skins in the item shop. They haven't told us that. They haven't even shown us a screenshot of what the item shop looks like yet. Like, that's a huge giveaway to me, because they know they can't feasibly show off a screenshot of the shop without showing prices of the things in the shop.
Well, here's the question, though.
So what are they trying to hide?
Well, here's the question,
Probably
though.
the price of the things in the shop.
Yeah, here's the question, though, Ian. It's not like once the game drops, they'll be able to hide that. So
no, they won't, but they'll prevent preemptive negative attention people complaining.
But what I'm saying is, do you in even the short term, do you really think it'll make that much of a difference? Because I know that, again, Halo Infinite, everyone thought it was a-okay, right? But then the game dropped, and people saw what was going on, and the game, people were instantly just like, nope, and they were just out of there. And so
Halo Infinite was going pretty strong in terms of, like, outside of like what was the name they gave the funny polygonal-looking character?
What?
Greg or something?
What? Oh, Craig?
Yeah, that one.
The bird.
Yeah, outside of the Craig image, marketing for Halo Infinite was going pretty well. It's like, yes, finally, we get Halo on PC. Then a lot of people tried it, and they're just like, wow, this is just worse Splitgate.
Well, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the monetization, right? Because
I mean, it's worse Splitgate in every way. It's even monetized worse than Splitgate.
okay, but what I mean is that what I'm trying to say, Ian, is that I'm not doubting that what you're saying is correct. That the reason they're not telling us is for a good reason. What I'm saying is that I'm just not sure if it's going to make a big difference in the end, because
It will, because if they told us now that a skin is going to cost $10, people would be upset. Do you disagree?
no.
People would be upset. At least a portion of those people who became upset by learning that information might never even log into the game once Overwatch 2 launches.
True.
Whereas if they don't say anything now, someone might log into the game, then learn skins cost $10, but they're already in the game, which means there's a better chance of them sticking around.
Yeah, it's good. It's better to just enchant your players with like good hype first, and then later disappoint them once they're already playing, because they might get hooked on the game before then.
Yeah. And on top of all this,
Especially new players, right? Because we're returning players. We're very different in terms of their marketing eyes. In their marketing eyes, we're pretty discardable.
Yes.
not discardable, but we're safe
we're-
to bet on in a sense, where it's like they know we're already here. We're probably going to stick around. They don't
Like-
need to try.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know if that's the case in their eyes, where it's like, well, they're probably gonna stick around.
Well,
I
we
feel
have
like
to-
they'll stick around as players, but they know just like how non-willing to spend the Overwatch 1 community is.
I mean, I do want to point out that if we, all of us, all four of us have stayed with Overwatch to some capacity in the past, like 3 years, it's pretty much been in the dirt. They pretty much got us, you know. We're a safe bet.
Right.
You know, if we stuck out during the absolute nothing that we've experienced for the past like couple of years, then we're a safe bet. It's more a case of returning players and also people for the first time. They need to impress, you know, those people.
Sorry, go ahead.
Which, in fairness, with what we've seen so far, they are indeed impressing. It's just more of a case of like our concerns
Right.
that, you know, and this I will shift the conversation to the latter half of the battle pass, and I think is even more controversial, but I think has the same a similar issue, which
Why
is
are heroes not? Why do they need to be unlocked?
pretty much like that's
Yeah.
pretty much the elephant in the room. Now, I know I've been pretty neutral with the skins, right? Mainly because I do have an aspect of like it's a skin. It's very much customization, and while I do love the skins, and while I'm an aesthetic person to my core, everyone knows this.
Yeah.
They're not important to the game. Like if I plug into Overwatch, while they're really cool and I really appreciate them, they're not necessarily the reason why I'm logging in. I'm logging in to play the game, presumably.
Right.
Yeah, and when 1/35th of the game just isn't there,
Right.
you're gonna be
So-
like, oh, okay, why is this part locked?
So here's where what I am currently thinking, right? If, you know, best case scenario, everything that I have said about like the Overwatch coins, and I can potentially win 1 or 2 skins for free. I don't have to drop a single cent, right?
Right.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all if I'm relegated to that. However, what is going to happen next? Now, not for Kiriko, because everyone who has Overwatch 1 gets her for free automatically. No waiting, no weird challenges or anything like that.
Right.
But for the future, exactly what does that entail for me? Because it says here that like she's unlocked at like level 55.
55 out of 80, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Jesus Christ, man, that's like halfway. They expect a player that plays like once or twice a week to do that in that
Exactly.
9-week period.
Yeah. And
So that's like.
Yeah.
So you're expecting them to take at least 5 months to unlock your new character?
yeah. And
Yeah.
and I do,
Oh, no, not 5 months, 5 weeks. Sorry.
and I do
So-
and I do find it funny because Jazz was talking about, oh, I care about this stuff so much, and I remember watching Ian's video, and Ian was just like, I know people who are crazy about this stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm guessing Jazz went through his mind.
So just to finish off my point, so this is coming from a casual, right?
Mhm.
Where I look at this and I'm like, okay, this is really daunting. I don't exactly know how exactly I'm going to do this for the future. I'm grateful that they're giving us Kiriko, for like, by Jesus, they with the reaction to the support mains on Twitter. I'd say that was like very quickly like, just give them the fox, just give them to them.
Just give them
You know,
give the current complainers them for free, okay? They can't complain.
Okay.
Only the new players can complain.
No one will notice. No one cares about the new players. It's fine. Which, in fairness, with the reactions on Twitter, might be true. It might be true. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So it's already pretty daunting for me as a casual player who has made a personal decision to try and not give Overwatch or Blizzard their money right now. I'm not very happy with the company.
Right.
I've made that very clear.
Of course.
I think everyone kind of knows. I think everyone kind of knows why, and that's a personal decision that I have made because I am an adult with money, you know. And but here's the thing: it's already daunting for me with there's no consequences for me getting a new hero. However, there are for Overwatch creators, and that goes for people like Ian who are online and doing YouTube and have to make content on Overwatch to continue their job. This is their livelihood. And then you have people on Twitch who stream Overwatch, again, their livelihood or part of their livelihood. And then you have Overwatch pros. Of course they have to get the new hero. All three of these sections have to get the new hero. So therefore, every couple of months or so, they have to drop money on a battle pass.
Jasmine, have you seen gacha players?
Yeah, but like we're talking about like hold on here. But
We
we're
need to
talking
get
about,
the new character, and then after gambling $40,000 away, they're like, "Oh, I still don't have it."
But
Let's go next stream, guys.
I want to point out that I think that's like comparing apples to oranges, right?
I know, but it's
like we're talking about a game that you used to pay, like, I don't know, like when
$0.
No, like I'm all flustered now. Hold on, I've lost my train of thought.
Okay. I'll give you a bit of time.
Yeah.
Everyone, shut up and let Jazz talk.
So you have so Overwatch 1 cost money. Everyone here bought money for Overwatch 1, correct?
Yes.
To some capacity. Some people might have paid 60, some people might have gotten it half price at 30, or lower if you got it earlier, correct?
I got it.
I got it for.
Hold on.
I got it for 60 because that's the only way you could get it on a console.
$16, I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
60 is the only option on console.
And I got
we
it for
can-
16.
But we can agree to everyone in this call right now has paid for Overwatch 1.
Yep.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
So we're going, and here's the thing. By the 2nd of October, that game that we paid for all those years ago is now going to go. It's gone. It will be extinct. It will no longer exist. So we are forced to play this free game that now has these types of monetary reasons, those monetary charges. So it's not a case of like, you purposely play a gacha game and this going in, you understand it as you're playing it, and you are making the adult, again, presumably the adult decision of buying these things. Again, I don't want to shame people, but I think it's a different beast from going from, we had this thing, we paid for it, and now against our will, we are now being transported into this different like new system,
Right.
that forces a lot of people to pay to even play certain aspects of the game. And I, for one, don't like that whatsoever.
Not at all.
I don't like it. I don't think it's a good direction for the game. I don't think it's fair, And
Yeah, guys.
you know,
I just thought I had a vision, a future vision.
Oh no.
Oh Jesus. We will have, you know, those videos that are like the top 100 Lucio player, and then it's like X players' names. Like, wow, they're so good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like the most generic looking thumbnail. It's just like actual cookie cutter thumbnail, right?
Mm.
But now I can see those, like the fresh nuts thing. Now the Noob Hunter videos being like, free to play player becomes top 500, playing 0 of the DLC characters. They're like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's it. That, again, I agree with Jazz. I feel like at least making it easier for people who had Overwatch 1 to unlock the new characters, at the very least, should be a thing.
We also have to figure out what is the main selling point of Overwatch, right? It's playing the fucking characters.
Yeah. And I mean, we already fucking bought it. It's just...
I think I have a really good example of why I don't think this will work for at least some audiences, and I'm part of that audience, because I started playing Apex Legends for this reason. There was a character announced in Apex Legends. I was like, yo, that's so cool. I'll start playing Apex Legends just for that character. They were one of the DLC characters, of course, so I had to like grind my ass off to get it.
Right.
I was like 20 hours in, I still didn't get it, and meanwhile it had been nerfed 4 times and reworked twice.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's and then I finally got the character, and it's like, wow, they're 0 fun to play. Because I couldn't really try them.
I am now like the word rework has given me pause, because you know the way like sometimes a hero doesn't work and they rework them, right? No biggie. It shouldn't be. Yeah. We can hope, we can pray.
Yeah.
Exactly what's going to happen if with this new system, if one of those heroes need to be reworked.
Do you think? No, surely not. People are going to be like, Blizzard, I would like a refund on my battle pass. I would like a refund on my character so I could spend my Overwatch coins on a different character next season.
I
suppose my ending argument is, you know, skins are cosmetic. Skins are meant to be fun.
Yeah.
A hero is very, very, it's a core detail to the game. And I'm not sure how comfortable I am, even with, you know, making it available for free. I'm not sure how comfortable I am with some kind of like twisting some people's arms to a point where they have to buy it.
Yeah.
You know, like to that stage, I'm not sure how comfortable I am. And I know a lot of people have thrown around like Apex and League of Legends and etc. But again, I don't think it's a 1-to-1 translation, because those games were free.
I mean, yeah,
League of Legends is probably the closest thing we can get to the Overwatch business model that's going here. Like, Apex Legends has a clearly different business model, right? Because the character you're playing doesn't change the gameplay as much as picking the weapons up in the game. It's a battle royale.
Yeah. And
League of Legends, you're playing characters.
Yeah.
And you're buying characters.
And even I think League of Legends is quite a stretch, because there are hundreds, and I mean hundreds of characters in League of Legends.
It wasn't like that on release.
It wasn't, but it is now. So you can pretty like, and here's the thing, because there's so many characters, a lot of them are very similar to one another. I don't think it's very controversial to say.
No.
It's actually one of the weaknesses of Overwatch is that, like, say a Mercy main can't really comfortably move to another hero because there's nothing really like Mercy, you know, and that's you can see as like both a pro and a con. It's simultaneous, where that person has something unique, but also they don't have something transcendent that can help them throughout the game.
Right.
With League of Legends, you can pretty comfortably have like a few characters that you really like and a few characters that you can play that are very similar to one another. So depending on the meta, you can like pull them out, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, League has a lot of like general archetypes of characters, and they keep like adding an archetype, and then over time another archetype of that character will be released, right? There's a character that is functionally similar to how Mercy works, right? But that was the first time they tried it. It's like a parasitic support kind of deal.
Right.
It attaches itself to a character, literally, like, you can't move when you are attached to a character. The guy moves for you.
Right. Jazz,
And you just give them passive buffs and passive healing, and you can jump from one character to another with, like, an ability. But that was the first time League of Legends tried a character like that, and that's the only character like that.
Right.
There's not a single other character that does that in League.
Right.
Not even anything similar. Like, there's characters that can do that kind of idea in an AoE, but they never are literally inside of the other character.
Right. And Jazz, what were you saying though?
I was more saying that, like, I don't think it. Looking at the comparisons, the frequently brought up comparisons to this new style of play, it's not really the same, and I don't think is very equivalent, because we're talking about a completely different beast from, you know, a game that you used to pay for just upfront and used to get, like, content semi-recently, versus, like, you know, now that being transformed into a game that you have to play for free, and also, like, all these monetizations. I don't know, it doesn't.
Well, here's the thing. So,
Go ahead.
right in hand with that is the fact that they've now said, going forward, heroes are going to be more homogenous. Which means the idea that, Mercy is the only Mercy in the game won't necessarily be true a year from now.
Yes, and they've stated they wanted to release more Mercy-like characters. Which absolutely had support players shaking, because that's the character that no one likes except for Mercy players.
But the point is that going forward, it might not even be the case that, like, you need every hero to fill every gameplay niche. Getting whatever support hero comes after Kiriko might not be that different than just getting Kiriko. Like, at that point, do the heroes themselves almost just become cosmetics? Like, of course, they're more complex because there will be gameplay changes, but in terms of their utility and function and niche they fill in the game, will new heroes really be much more than just a cosmetic, essentially?
Yeah,
that's actually something that Apex does pretty similarly. So the character I wanted was a character called Seer. Basically, they can, like, create a big AoE in front of them that shows enemies through walls and does, like, a tiny amount of damage and gives them a little debuff, right?
Yeah.
But he was a DLC character. I had to work my ass off to unlock it. However, one of the free characters is Bloodhound, that can do that on a much shorter cooldown in an AoE around him, specifically a sphere instead of an icosahedron that Seer throws in front of him. And it doesn't do damage, but it reveals them for a bit longer.
Right.
Meanwhile, I was playing Bloodhound. I unlocked Seer. I was like, well, I had more fun playing Bloodhound, so I guess all my hours grinding were for nothing. Cool.
Right. And I mean, and the other thing I would just say I'm concerned about is, like, you know, again, over time, this is going to build up, and people are not going to have access to, like, 20 different heroes, and that'll just inevitably cause problems, and I hope they have
Imagine being the guy joining in, like, Season 19 of Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
A new map was just released, and last season a new hero was released, and you're like, okay, what am I doing? It's like, well, you see, the current meta kind of, requires you to play, like, this character, but it doesn't exist yet for you, because you're, like, a free-to-play player. If you're playing support, it requires both DLC characters, so you're not playing that either.
Yeah, it's just fucked. They have to. Yeah. And the other thing is, you know, you have to think about pricing. Like, if you're in a place like Brazil, you know.
Yeah, if you're in a place like Brazil, $1 a month is your pay.
That's a lot more.
I do want to point out that, like, all of us have expressed how it's a little, like, the thought that, like, there hasn't been a price announced just yet is still a little anxious. We're all a bit nervous,
Yeah.
you know? And this is coming from people who are, I want to say comfortable, definitely, like, fine. We're all from Western countries. We can survive, like, giving them a tenner if must be.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
some
I
people,
mean-
that is not an option. And to be fair, we are coming up to, like, a very large recession. And, you know, looking at, like, do you want to, you know, surveys that say, do you want to spend $45 on a skin? Does make you start to sweat.
Oh boy, I
Does-
can't, I
does
can't, I
start
can't
making
wait for the
sweat.
4th recession in the 22 years I've been alive.
Wait a minute.
uh,
Wait a minute. I have a feeling my No 45 was picked now.
Why?
So remember how they said you could spend money on EXP for the battle pass?
Yeah.
Remember how the last item in every battle pass is a mythic skin?
Oh.
Presumably, we don't actually know that.
Well, they say, I think they said it's like every battle pass will include at least a mythic skin.
Yes, everyone will have a mythic skin. We don't know
Yeah.
if it'll be at the end or where. Anyways,
I mean, I'm assuming they're at the end, right?
probably, most
But-
likely.
Whatever it is, it'll probably, in terms of quick unlocking, be around the $45 mark.
That's a good point.
Could be.
And
Again, I think this rounds back to what I was saying, that, like, important information that we just don't know yet.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
And I mean,
I wish we knew. But, like, with the information we have, we can speculate. And if that's the case, then I hope not.
and one thing,
But,
one thing that does drive me crazy, I will just note, is that the finance guy at Blizzard, he was just like, yeah, we're confident that our players will be more than happy to you know, fork over money for this. And I'm like, oh, you are a fucking scumbag.
Buddy, you have no idea how poor people are now.
You have no idea.
Have you missed the last looks at clock? 19 years?
Breathing costs you $1.
Show it over, cheapskates!
Yeah.
Fucking steals out of your skins. I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm glad one of Jeff's final acts of kindness was having players get all of their items and shits from Overwatch 1.
Right.
Because I feel like that's a thing that wasn't really fully disclosed in the Blizzard HQ.
Oh, could you imagine if, like, you know, the Mercy skin that came out for cancer research?
Yeah,
Do you know
Pink
the
Mercy.
charity one?
Yep.
Could you imagine what would happen to the Mercy mains if they lost that skin? Oh my
They
god!
immediately throw themselves off the bridge.
$400 buying accounts that had Pink Mercy and just losing the skin.
Oh my god! They would be like, forget the French Revolution. This is how it. This is.
This is the gaming revolution. When people
Guillotine.
storm Blizzard HQ over a fucking Mercy skin.
Guillotines set outside offices. You know.
Oh god.
Yeah, I do agree we should repeat the French Revolution, but probably not for a Mercy skin.
Oh god.
You hear the people sing. But rounding it back to Ian's point, I was watching your videos because, you know, I'm a fan. I'm your friend. Of course, I watch them.
Thank you. Appreciate
You're
it.
very welcome. I always, I never leave a comment because I'm too shy.
I
But
leave
do
comments.
I
like
usually
it
leave
when you
comments.
brainless.
I usually leave
I do-
comments, and they're usually like, "Lamau, this shit sucks."
I did. What was the comment that said, like, the comment you found, Astro?
Oh god, yeah.
Wait, Ian, did you see this? I think you were asleep.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard.
I think
was
that's
like, oh,
something along the lines of who need the you always put your whole Master Ian Game Rossi in the videos. Love you.
Something
And their
along those lines.
And their name was like Wig Snatch.
Yeah.
Everything, top to bottom, that comment was gold.
Wig Snatcher, 7 hours ago. You always put your whole Master Ian Game Rossi in these videos. Love you.
I just,
Ian, how does it feel to be a gay icon?
I didn't choose this life; it chose me.
I do always love finding something absolutely just like bizarre to put in a comment on Ian's videos. It's always a joy.
If we
It's
all
not
find
the kind. It's not the kind of comment I'd expect on Ian's videos. Let's just say that. That's a
I would
comment I
agree.
expect on like my videos.
Man, you should
But anyway.
you should see Ian's stream chat. That gets fucking weird.
Oh,
I mean-
we'll get to that in the closing statements. I just wanted to finish off what I was saying before. Again, we're like running out of time here. We gotta start wrapping. So to round about to Ian's lovely point and the point that he made in his videos about like general making heroes more general. Again, looking at like League of Legends. As the closest comparison, I suppose, that we have, or at the very least, the closest one that like everyone kind of knows about. Like, I'm concerned about. Like, I do think that is probably what they want, because I think if you were to take the old school type of way of creating heroes, that was going to cause a nightmare. That truly was going to melt the game. Because at some point you were going to have a break situation, and by God, we might have a break situation by October, for all we know.
Right.
I think it'll quite literally just include Brig. The Brig situation will still be the Brig situation, and not a different character.
Just break two,
Brig again.
Brig again, Electric Boogaloo.
That'll be the next support character, Brig.
Just a sequel to Brig.
They'll remove Brig just to add Brig.
Finally, the delete Brig
The
movement
delete
has
Brig
won.
movement worked. She'll be taken offline for one day as part of like an ARG event.
Right.
And then she comes back, but it's like she's slightly shorter, has a hammer, and like heals with a turret.
So in the time of this in this tangent of me comparing League of Legends to Overwatch, about like 5 new champions for League of Legends have dropped, probably.
Well, I think more actually.
Actually, do you know what? There's a 6th right there. Oh my God, I got the Twitter notification right there. Versus, the very tepid way of Overwatch leaking. No, not leaking. Feeding us heroes. I'd say they'd have to do that for a very long time before it starts to get that League of Legends effect, where I think there's not this pressure, and that's kind of what I'd be worried about.
It'll be a while before we get to the 50 character level.
It'll be, and by that time we'll have exactly 6 support heroes.
Yeah, by that time we'll have like 8 support heroes, 25 DPS characters, and we'll probably have 2 tanks left. 2 playable tanks, anyways. The other ones will be like Roadhog 5.
Roadhog 5.
Yeah, that'll be its actual name, Roadhog 5. They forgot to change the in-game name afterwards.
The Sim, do you know the Sims 1, Sim 2, Sim 3
Yeah.
joke? But like legit.
We'll have Soldier 69 by then.
Nice. 420, hey!
Oh shit. They kinda... No, they can't. If there's 2 skin names I want in the game, it's Soldier 69 and Soldier 420, but they cannot do that, right?
No.
Not if they want to keep that age rating, no.
What age rating? It's like 7+, right? What age rating does Overwatch have?
Teen.
I think
thought
it's T.
But like in Europe, we have like different ages specifically.
I think it's 12
I
plus.
think it's 12, yeah.
It's 12, yeah. I think they can get away with Soldier... Well, not Soldier 69, but Soldier 420 maybe. They'll definitely get away with it here.
Only in certain countries, though.
Like I said, here.
You have an exclusive.
Yeah, dude, an exclusive Soldier 76 weed skin. It's censored in every other country. It'll just be like a tree skin.
This podcast has everything: racism, weed,
Oh,
I
dear.
mean,
gays.
we have every topic, from racism to weed.
We have everything you could ever want.
No.
All right, guys. So to finish up the podcast, I suppose these are our final thoughts for Overwatch as we know it, because I doubt there's going to be any more news unless they really want to surprise us. I
Now,
suppose
surely
this would be.
there's probably going to be more news soon, right? If only like that news will probably consist of, "Hey guys, here's a new Kiriko cinematic," or like something like that.
Yeah,
know,
I
but
think
it's
we're
not-
going to see that sort of stuff. In terms of info dump, I think we've pretty much got everything at this point.
Yeah.
We've got the marketing dump now. Just the like general public needs to go. You know,
Yeah.
because
And I suppose-
I can confirm the general public did not know, care, or realize that Kiriko dropped.
Sadly, but sure. Back to the topic at hand. But I'd say this is going to be the last proper analytical video we'll have on Overwatch before the launch, because we have this video to go out. Then we have the proto one that Astro really wants to do about the voice lines and lore and generally stuff like that. And then pretty much by that stage, Overwatch 2 will be upon us, you know? That's only 3 weeks away. And it's what are you guys' thoughts and feelings about like Overwatch 2 finally coming to an end 6 years, you know?
Let's hope it isn't shit.
Let's hope it isn't shit.
Let's
Yeah,
hope it
at
isn't
this
shit.
point, honestly, I'm like, just get the transition over with.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say this, it's, you know, I will hold Overwatch 1 close to my heart regardless of what happens in the future, because I have stated that like if certain things come to pass, and this is privately, if certain things have come to pass, this might be, you know, my final ride with Overwatch, unfortunately. And if it is, it's been a pleasure riding with you gentlemen. But
One last ride.
one last go around anyway. And I will always keep Overwatch 1 to my heart, close to my heart, especially the beginning. I know I've made a lot. Oh, I'm getting sappy. Oh shit. God damn it, my cool persona is slowly being destroyed.
Oh no, I can no longer be cool.
Oh no, they think I'm a
Dive
loser
the
now with
cringe.
emotions. Hashtag cringe for emotions. But I've made a lot of friends through Overwatch. I've met you know, plenty of lovely people and some awful people, don't get me wrong, but thankfully they're few and far between. And it is just merely sad that Overwatch 1 will be ending with a whimper, not with the bang it deserves.
Right.
And those
Yep.
are my closing statements.
All
You
right.
gentlemen?
It is strange to see the Nintendo 3DS eShop outlive this game, but you know, like a phoenix, it'll rise, and hopefully not like straight into a fucking air conditioning unit.
Okay.
You know, let's not
Mr.
get
Ian?
blended chicken.
yeah, I mean,
Matt- Want to add to that, Miss?
I don't know what I can add. You should just end it there, honestly. Astro.
Oh boy, Overwatch 1. I don't know. I met all of you through it. That's good.
That's a good one.
That's good.
We met
It's
some
all about-
silly characters, huh?
It's all about the friends we made along the way.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
I mean, it really do be.
in the 3 years we were waiting for
Mhm.
something to happen.
Yeah, we spent half of Overwatch's entire life waiting for Overwatch 2.
That's actually, I did not realize.
Yeah. Math. It's
We
fun.
waited half of Overwatch 1's lifetime waiting for Overwatch 2, starving without content.
Yeah.
Actually, if you think about it, Jeffrey, Mr. Jeffrey Kaplan, we missed you, bud. He mentioned very explicitly when Overwatch 2 was announced that they had the idea and were starting to take it very seriously around the second Archives event. What's it called? The Blackwatch one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
around 2017, I think.
Yeah.
So
Like
oh,
2017, early 2018?
It was
Yeah.
early 2018, April.
Yeah.
so even more than half. Like
I mean,
have
we
been
weren't
waiting for
actively
Overwatch.
waiting for it, but they have been developing the game since, like, that.
They've spent the
Yeah.
bulk of Overwatch 1's existence developing Overwatch 2.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't come out and immediately shit the bed.
Oh,
Because that would be, one, very sad, and two, I mean, like, yeah, this game's characters have transcended the game
Oh yeah.
a lot. And it'd be very strange to see the characters not only outlive the game, but, like, even after the game got literally revived, outlive the game.
Right.
it is wild to me. Do you guys remember Ready Player One?
Yes.
That movie
Yeah.
about
Tracer
It's
was
wild.
in that.
Yeah, she was featured like predominantly in a lot
I've
of
not
like the
seen
back-
that movie, I just know
No,
about it.
I've only seen like clips and trailers and
I've
stuff
seen
like
it.
that.
I've not seen. I've not even seen a clip. I've seen a screenshot.
I've seen it. I like
But
it.
it just goes to show that like it. I remember Overwatch was only existing like not a whole long. That came out in 2017. I want to say
Yes.
2018,
Something like that.
and already like something like Tracer was beside like the Iron Giant and like very iconic kind
Master
of like
Chief.
signifiers. Yeah. So it just goes to show like Overwatch has everything going for it. It's just up to how you know it has all of the potential. It's just how they're going to apply it,
Right.
and that's we just have to wait.
Yep. All right.
You know, at the end of the day, there's a few things we can always say. One of them that has stayed true for the entirety of Overwatch 1's life is, like, at least it's not Paladins.
True.
However, that game has also outlived Overwatch 1. Gosh. Overwatch 1 will literally have the plug pulled on it. That's just pretty silly.
The heat wave of the Earth of the universe will happen before Overwatch 2 dies.
The heat death. Yep.
Yeah. The sun will explode. And
Oh,
with
man.
Overwatch.
TF2 will outlive Overwatch.
Yep. Well, yeah, it has. Counter-Strike Global Offensive has outlived Overwatch. League of Legends has outlived Overwatch.
Pain.
Overwatch did outlive what's it called? Titanfall 2, which is RIP Titanfall 2.
True.
You know, some casualties.
Hey, Overwatch outlived Halo Infinite.
Dude, Halo Infinite outlived Halo Infinite. It was dead on arrival.
Yeah,
The
there's
hype for Halo
Mayflies
Infinite
that
outlived
belong
Halo
to
Infinite.
Sorry, Ian. What'd you say?
So there are Mayflies that have outlived Halo Infinite.
True.
A fruit died before Halo Infinite.
Yeah. I mean, I've had good shits that have outlived Halo Infinite.
Oh boy.
Man.
All right. Do we have anything else? I think I've said my part. I can summarize it as I'm excited, but oh my god, I am not.
I'm excited, but also fear.
Yeah.
I am very excited and very concerned.
Yep.
And
Oh, is it my
yeah,
turn?
now it's your turn.
Now it's
Oh
your
God, I
turn.
didn't- Do you know that meme going around like I am nervous, I am happy, I am.
Yep.
That's just us. I am apprehensive.
Okay. Well, if that's all that's left, Ness.
I don't have a funny one for this. Actually, I do.
Okay.
So, to any of the viewers that have made it this far, look up the Yu-Gi-Oh card Nirvana High Paladin, and just have fun, okay? Until next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.